So welcome back, and as I mentioned before, we're here with Edith Parker, Expo Director for the Pan-African Business Expo, and she's going to give us more information about why she has created this, why the Expo, and all the fine details that we don't know about. So how are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. Could you tell us more about the business itself and why you have all of these people coming here together?
All right. I think it will help if I give you a bit of background to
Yes.
why the Pan-African Business Expo came about. I'm a chartered accountant, chartered management accountant by training, but I'm also an entrepreneur. Last year, I ran an import and export company, and last year we lost out on £1 million deal. Now, that was painful. It was painful because it took a lot of time to negotiate that deal. And when it got to the point of delivering it, we couldn't, and we had to put our hands up.
And it's a million.
And I'm sorry, I'm not the kind of person that gives that. But with this particular initiative, I had to tell myself it was impossible. It could not work. Now, there were three reasons why we couldn't do it. One, it was really difficult to identify suppliers, reliable suppliers in Africa and the Caribbean.
Okay.
And you may find this surprising because you're thinking, wow, there must be a lot of surprise in those countries. But
And a lot of
why?
unemployment and all.
But there is no reliable information that you can grab out there that when you go out, this is who you can work with and this is how you can verify them. And, the best way to practice is what you really expect from your suppliers.
Yeah.
And number two, just packaging the finance deal to make this work was literally impossible. Finally, logistical costs. Moving your goods just in Africa into a country is literally impossible. The costs are just so high. And what was so surprising was, after I spoke to a number of people,
Yeah.
I found out that this was a common problem. That most businesses, particularly diaspora-owned businesses,
Among
were
the Caribbean and
failing.
the African
African and Caribbean businesses were struggling to venture into this recruitive industry just because of these reasons. And I felt that, okay, if we could have a platform where one would bring in the key players of international trade and we talk, we discuss, and we explore these issues and try to come up with the solutions, that would be the best way forward. So today, we have diplomats who are mostly the embassy trade desk.
Yes.
As you know, most of these countries are here to promote business opportunities.
Yes.
And most of them have databases of suppliers just on their computers. So we are saying, okay, come out. We want to meet you. We want to find out. And number two, we have companies like trade finance, trade export finance, who just focuses on providing finance for international
Yes.
trade. And not just that, as well, we have experts coming from different areas, but focusing on financing deals, helping us to package those deals so that we can move forward.
Okay.
And as well as the entrepreneurs and businesses themselves who are going to make this happen. So today is an exciting day.
And I've noticed that you also have charity. So what does the charity work in the mix of the supplying the business within the Caribbean and African communities?
Okay, with the charity that I work on, it's mostly I'm on the board. So I'm a volunteer, but as well as a treasurer for the charity. And we work closely with poor local farmers in Africa, India, Africa and Asia, and we are teaching them sustainable farming techniques.
Okay.
The charity is called Find Your Feet. They're based in Brixton, and I work very well with them. But apart from that, I was the lead negotiator as well in the establishment of Big Issue Malawi, which was the fifth street paper in Africa. Because I believe that there is massive opportunities in Africa, as well as the Caribbean, and our people are very hardworking. But all they need is to guide them where these opportunities are. And I think this will be the platform where the diaspora companies, UK established companies, will take a step back and say, okay, fine, how does effective international trade with Africa and the Caribbean look like?
Okay.
So this is why we are here. And hopefully next year, it will be another big step for us as well.
Yeah. Why these panelists today? Why all the different kind of panelists on this and not some other different kind of panelists? Because I've read your booklet and it said that you have like people from the international trade representative, you have like entrepreneurs, you have business owners, you have like financiers. Why all of these panelists and not some different kind?
Okay, I think as you can follow all the three panels that we have, they're focusing on different areas, but those are the hot burning issues when you're engaging in international trade. I mean, we have a panel that's just focusing on how do you set up that business and how do you look out for the financing, and those are the kind of things that we want to hear.
Yes.
Not just from a generic point of view, but what we are saying is that this is about doing business with Africa and the Caribbean. What do I need to know in this context? So it's more focused, and I mean it's cases where maybe you've made a UKTI
Yes.
in some other maybe panels, but this is different because the focus is mostly Africa and the Caribbean. And we also have another panel that explored on what do you really need to know if you're looking at doing business in Africa and the Caribbean.
Yes.
So it's just following the same kind of principle. If you can follow the panelists, some of them are bringing the case study on how they have run their own business in Africa, what they have had to do, what lessons they have learned, and they're happy to share that with other businesses and entrepreneurs so that you should not make the same mistakes that they did.
But why the African and the Caribbean communities? Why didn't you go in depth with some other more communities, find some more other people? Because you've mentioned Asia, you're working with Asia and the African, but does the Pan-African also cover Asia? Or, because I noticed that you're more focused on the Caribbean and the African, but you have mentioned the Asian, so could you like give some more details about that?
Okay, so with the Pan-African, the main focus is on Africa and the Caribbean as a market target.
Yes.
As you know, these continents, we are looking at a population of over 1 billion. And what we are saying is that this is the right time to go and do business with Africa and Caribbean.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, it's not just limited to Africans and Caribbean businesses.
Yes.
What we're looking is UK established businesses, American established businesses, Asian companies that are really interested to go into African Caribbean, but we want them we want to support them that when they go in there, they are engaging effectively, that it's not just about making profit, but also looking at the social impact of the whole picture. And now with Asia, as I mentioned, that's a charity that I work with. And we're focusing, I guess, mostly because of the poor people, and that's more focusing on Asia.
Yes.
But with the Pan-African Business Expo, it's mostly targeting African and Caribbean opportunities in our continents.
What is the main aim for today? What are you aiming for and the objective of the Pan-African Expo business today?
I want to go back, look at the feedback, and see that the feedback that we're getting from the delegates.
Yes.
I would like to I want to believe that it was a debate, a very challenging, inspiring event.
Yes.
There has been really interesting speakers, as you followed
Definitely.
out. And I want to hear that they have learned something, that from this event, they're going to take their step forward. Most of them, maybe they're already operating in Africa, but now they're going, or Caribbean, but now they're going to take a step back and say, okay, fine, how do I do this effectively? So I'm hoping that they will learn a lot and they will take something from it. And that come next year, we'll build in on whatever we have started this year, and hopefully that will be another story.
Okay, well, thank you very much, and I hope you have all of the aims and objectives that you've worked on for today, so that the Pan-African Business Expo can work out in your favor. So thank you very much again today, and you're watching Clash Entertainment TV, and we'll be right back.